Well, hello again, everybody. Bob Michaels, and we are at Wiffle Ball City, USA, in Painted Post, New York. The excitement of Wiffle Ball continues here in Painted Post, New York, Ruoc's 28th annual event. And right now what we're going to do, we're going to pick up one of the semifinal games already in progress. So back to action now, top of the second inning. And some great defense there displayed by Ron Abbey. It's long, and it is a double that drops in for Corey Hamill. So they've got runners on second base, scoreless but threatening here in the top of the second inning. And Derek Hamill waits on that first pitch. Abbey again into the windup.
What did he do to you?
Well, certainly Hamill presents a large target out there. He's been hit twice in the back. A long fly ball and drop. That's a double. And we have a 1-0 score in favor of Team Hamill. And that good old-fashioned over-the-top pitch by Ron Abbey, trying to tempt Corey Hamill. A little bit of a backdoor slider thrown out there by Abbey. Ruoc holding up that fence in the outfield near the Beartown Beverage and Redemption Center. High fly ball, waiting for little camouflage action there, delivered by the Team Hamill.
He's playing the game, not me. All right. That was pretty good. That was a good job. That was good. Come back fast and it sounded good. Yeah.
And a called strike on Derek
I've been
Hamill
thinking about that since last year's Wiffle
as he
Ball
waits
tournament.
once more, and the pitch.
Strike! One!
One run in, top of the second inning for Team Hamill. Third time in an inning. I don't know how many times the guy can tolerate being hit by such a heavy-duty ball out there. Well, the legendary Dave Jenks is soon to put in an appearance. Will be joining us here. That's a fly ball, and off the fingertips of Corey Hamill. That's 3 outs. So we'll go to the bottom of the second inning as Abbey and Ruoc come to the plate. Back right after this on WYDC.
Here I go. You asked me if I could be fair earlier.
Hands down, my team.
But as a father and uncle, I'd have to say Nathan Ruoc, my son.
But it's a three-man team with myself, Caleb McKegg, and Sean DiOrio. We placed third last year, and we're gonna go for the money this year and make a run for it.
You got my cousin Nate and his partner Caleb and the other partner.
I think it could be their year.
You know, you got some younger guys in there, Nate Ruoc and Caleb McKegg, you know, 2 Hall of Famers this year. They're getting inducted this year.
And then my nephew Greg Ruoc with his partner Eric Murphy, they're a solid runner that could take this too.
I always go into the tournament optimistic, but any given Saturday on the Colonial weekend, it could be anyone's game.
Then you always have, you know, your Bobby Turner, Andy Hayes team.
But Turner and Hayes have repeated 2 years in a row.
Past champions, Turner, Hayes.
Always Hamil Perillo. They're always tough. I mean, you look at the back of the shirt and you just see their name year after year. So,
And Hamil Perillo, who combined have around 20 championships of the 28. So,
Well, always Hamil Perillo are the perennial favorites.
a lot of people who expect certain teams to win, but it could be anyone's game, really.
My name is on the shirt, and it's, let's see, I think 2004 maybe?
Ron Abbey and Mike Ruoc, they were in the finals last year.
Yeah, we were the oldest champs ever at that time, and I don't think there's been anybody older. Well, this year there's going to be somebody older, and it's going to be us.
A lot of people. And we like to joke on each other. Wow, that was good. You know, the name is on the shirt will live forever, and people want to be recognized as wiffle ball champs around the community, so that's kind of cool.
It's hard to say. It's anybody's, but the favorites are probably the family teams.
Oh my God, that was funny. Where were we?
I mean, it's like a major league game.
Well,
But fortunately, in that case, they'll cancel the game. Where you've seen earlier in our game that, you know, with the downpour that we had, there was just we have to play through it, and each team tries to deal with it with different ways. I know Bill Baker was unfortunately the losing pitcher in our previous round game, and I think he walked 5 guys in a row, but it was a continuous downpour, and there's really not much he can do. Rosin isn't going to help him, obviously, in that position.
Right. Well, fans, we are in the winners bracket, last game of the winners bracket, and this the winner will go to the championship, and the fellows who take it on the chin will have to come back up the hard way, so to speak, but at least they'll be alive. That's a long double to the wall, delivered by Derek Hamil.
Where'd you get that? I don't know, somebody's over there.
So it's a 2-1 ball game. And we are in the top of the 3rd inning, I believe.
Yeah, I believe this is what's left of the winners. The loser will go over into the losers bracket, and then the winner of this will be the only remaining undefeated team for this afternoon. So they're probably going to get some time off after this game so we can get through the remainder of the losers bracket. So obviously the winner of this game is going to have a big advantage over the remainder of the teams left.
to that.
Well, after last year's debut with the video presentation on Big Fox TV, we picked up even more of a legion of followers as far as the wiffle ball tournament is concerned. Kind of curious too, you know, the rules notwithstanding. I mean, you look at the markings, and that's so crucial in any ballpark layout. But 75 feet down the left field line, straight away center 68 feet, and then how do you account for 74 feet in the right field line?
Well, I think that
And he smashed that, but that's an out.
I think possibly when they laid out the field, the surveyor may have messed up by a foot. Obviously, we don't have a deep center field here with it being a square backyard, the way it's laid out. You know, a lot of your baseball parks are deeper into center field. And,
right.
You know, but just the way it's laid out here, it comes out to be 68 feet center field.
One thing that's been very curious to me when you look at preparing, if you played any sort of organized sports, you've got to have the right equipment and so forth. So I would imagine that in the trunk of your car, You probably carry, and that's off the foul pole. You're going to call that a double.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it kicks back into the park, but the point I want to
Exactly.
make, opening up the trunk of your car, so do you have an extra supply of turfus and sawdust and diamond dust and things of that nature, maybe an extra shovel, a lime bag?
Well, what we've done over the last few years, Andy Hayes fortunately works for a lumber company, so every year we said, well, just to be on the safe side, could you bring us down a couple bags of sawdust? It's been a couple years since we've had to break it out. Last year we got lucky. They were calling for 70% rain, and we went through the entire game without a drop. Fortunately today, we went through the majority of the tournament without any precipitation of the sort, and it came down pretty hard in games number 20 and 21, I believe they were. And, fortunately, the teams on the losing side had to deal with it, and I can understand that, it didn't play into their favor, but obviously the team that won also had to deal with the conditions.
Well, we're going to flip-flop now as we check it out. We have a 3-1 score in favor of Team Camille heading into the top half of the third inning. So things are moving along in a relatively fast fashion here for the fashionable Dave Jenks. It's good to see this nice little appendage that you've added to your sport there.
Over the winter meetings, we decided to actually give it shorten the name from the Corning Painted Post Wiffle Ball Association to the WAPP, standing for Wiffle Ball Association of Painted Posts. So hopefully that term will travel across the state of New York, and when people hear that term, they'll know exactly what we're talking about.
And the logo says WAP Sports.
Exactly.
All right. So when you see that logo, that symbol cropping up in the near future all over Painted Post, you'll know what it stands for.
Yeah, if you remember right, last year, Bob, it was Ruoc and Abbey that were in the championship game. Fortunately lost back-to-back out of the winner's bracket to lose to Turner and Hayes, so I'm sure they're eager to get back to the championship game, and they're doing a fine job today running through the winner's bracket.
And one of the nice things that awaits the winner is the fact that knowing that there are certificates from Beartown Beverage and Peaches and Cream location on Beartown Road.
Well, we had a big turnout this year as far as our sponsors and people that were involved with promoting the game. I guess we have to thank Big Fox for that. And obviously, the word got around about the viewing of it on the TV, and everybody was excited to watch that. And people came out and really wanted to support the event this year. Peaches and Cream, though, have always been with us for probably the last 15 years.
Dave, one thing our listeners just saw, Ron Abbey was at the plate, and he lifted a fly ball. He went charging after the ball, tried to make the catch, and then was unhappy he didn't make the catch. Explain that.
Well, I'm sure probably this late in the game, he's probably tired, along with the majority of the players here. But as long as that ball's in front of that line, technically you don't have to catch it. Now, there was a rule change this year where if the player that's trying to catch the ball leaves the double area and touches the ball in the front of that line, then they're still going to rule it a double, where in the past, that was just a dead ball.
What do you think about the fan turnout this season? It looks like very colorful, attired folks.
Well, I think there would have been more probably today without with the rain. I'm sure that dampened the turnout. But, it's always the same people that come and support the tournament, and the chance to see people I haven't seen in the last year, plus get to see some good wiffle ball here in Chris's backyard.
You're watching the play of Derek and Corey Hamiel, the younger. Corey to the plate now, and they have a 3-1 advantage against the veteran duel of Ron Abbey and Mike Ruoc, as Dave so eloquently posed it. Made it to the championship round last year and came up just a little bit short to the eventual champions, Bob Turner and Andy Hayes, or is it Hayes and Turner?
Well, I guess you'd have to ask each one of them because they each pronounce their last name first. But I think they decided this year with the T-shirts to put Hayes Turner since it's been on there so many years.
Right.
Finally, they said, well, Andy, you can have a year and put your last names on there.
Works for me.
Now, as far as Hamil and Hamil go, I think they're tired of seeing their older brother's John's name on the T-shirt.
Right.
But, they wanted to get into the action. And I believe they're probably a good 10 years younger than John, so I feel as though they think it's their prime time years to step up here in the winner's bracket and try to knock off Ruoc and Abbey.
Well, we've got a dancing fan down the first base line there, and they were able to pull him out with no usher security chasing him down the line. So I guess that's a good thing. That's one of the added bonuses about this tournament.
Yeah, we don't have to dish out for security. It's pretty well monitored by the family and friends of the Ruocos.
Home run! Corey Hamil with a yarder down the left field line. I'll tell you what, you're getting a lot of silent raves from the folks that go drifting by in front of our broadcast booth.
I think they're impressed with the jacket. It's one of the benefits of working up here in the booth with you, and you know, for Fox to dip into the budget and find a way to get me the jacket that actually fits the occasion is pretty special. We had a special moment Thursday night prior to the drafting of the teams. Back in the early 80s, I had gotten a leisure suit at a garage sale for $1.50, and obviously it doesn't fit anymore, but I felt as though it was time to hand it on down to Nathan, and so it's now part of Nate Ruocco's collection in his wardrobe.
I'm anxiously waiting for that to be displayed here.
Well, I'm hoping that maybe he'll break it out here after the end of the tournament and you know, give the fans a
Sure.
pick of
Kind of the sights and sounds of this year's tournament. Well, that is a high fly ball that Corey Hamil makes an outstanding effort, but unfortunately, and it drew the smile from Ron Abbey. Well, we're looking at a 5-1 advantage, Dave Jenks, in favor of, I don't want to say youth, because Derek Hamil has a lot of miles on that body out there in terms of playing sports. It looks like he's trying to go yard. Great catch by Ruoc. Had to go all the way back to deep center field, up against the wall to make the grab.
Well, it looks like he had him positioned perfectly for that.
I tell you, they leave nothing to chance in this tournament.
Now I hear the thunder rumbling in the background again. Hopefully it'll hold off.
Well, they took the light standards down for repair, so we'll wait on that. Hey, back with more with the score 5-1 in favor of Hamil and Hamil.
Mikey's up.
Durkin and I got eliminated after the second game. We lost 2 games in a row, and again we lost by 1 run. So this is probably, each game we've lost for the last 10 years has been by 1 run. I just see Ghana just lost, and they had 6 runs and they lost. We don't even score 6 runs a tournament, so it gets a little frustrating at times, you know. I had 7 strikeouts the first game, and actually I think you may have heard the story, which is now becoming quickly legend. Proudfoot and Bennett and Proudfoot, I threw a no-hitter against them and lost. And they're telling me it's the first time in history that it's happened in the tournament, but I think I may have done that before. But I had no hitter going in the bottom of the 5th. We were up 2-0, and they brought in young Aiden Proudfoot.
I played the 3rd game against Chris Durkin, his dad, and Bang.
The discrepancy in the strike zone was a little too much for me to handle, and I could not hit the strike zone. And I guess the strategy was that they were bringing in the young guy just to pinch hit once, give him a chance to bat in his first tournament, and they didn't realize that once you bring in a pitch hitter, he's got to stay there the whole time. So he was in the lineup permanently, and I couldn't hit the strike zone. I walked him.
Yeah, I drawed 4 of them in a row.
And that brought in 3 runs, and we lost the game 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th.
It happened because I got walked 4 times in a row, and then my dad got walked twice, and but Eddie whiffed out of the game.
Get out of here, get out of here. Yeah!
You know, I was thinking about it. I had all kinds of thoughts of what I did wrong, and I was thinking, well, I was trying to hit the strike zone instead of just pitching the ball to him and letting him hit, you know, like I was tossing balls for a little leaguer to hit or something like that. Instead, I was doing the competitive thing instead of having fun, and that was a downfall. But then, you know, ultimately, it was my game to lose, and I lost it. And if you want to play in the big leagues here, you gotta be able to pitch to all kinds of batters, and so that was my problem right there. But you know, what a great way for that kid to start out.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Aiden Proudfoot's first official on base.
And then look at his dad. Look at the difference in. Look at his strike zone. So I had these 2 batting against each other, or right after one another, and so, you know, couldn't hit the strike zone at all. But again, like I said, if you're gonna pitch in the big leagues, you gotta be able to pitch to everybody. So it was my fault, my game to lose, right?
No.
All right, buddy.
I think we might win.
Bob Michaels with Bill Murray's lookalike. We couldn't get Mr. Murray, so we settled for the next best thing, and that's Dave Jenks, my color commentator for the second consecutive year. And we're having a whale of a time in the winners bracket as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and it's Hamil in the outfield leading 5-1. That could be trouble. Caught by Corey Hamil.
Well, he watched it come right through the trees, Bob, and unfortunately he didn't hit any of the leaves or any of the big branches to knock it another 10 or 15 feet from where he was standing.
Well, he had a lot of cushioning out there, fell on his wallet, so.
Oh, nice recovery by Abby to save him from that.
Yeah. Well, the youngsters having quite a rally this afternoon and taking charge here, Hamil. Abby, of course, knows about those late inning surges along with Ruoc. That's a long fly ball, deep and caught by Derek Hamil. You see the range of that young man out there?
Well, he's one of the younger guys here at the tournament, so anybody can sprint all the way from left field over to right field to rob him of the double. That's pretty amazing.
That's all of maybe 12 feet, 15 feet at best. But
yeah,
nonetheless, it's a run.
I couldn't make that catch. 10, 15 years ago, I think I would have had a chance. But
when'd you come to that realization?
Oh, probably 10 years ago.
Okay.
Some of the younger people in the crowd were asking Bobby Turner earlier why he was so sore. And they said he was just playing wiffle ball, but when you're a 45-year-old man, it's just not playing wiffle ball. It's a full day of recovery.
That's right. So all across this great land, so many athletes, if you will, aspiring wiffle ball players, perfecting their art, working on their breaking ball. And Hamil trying to tempt Abby, and Abby just...
He was a little ahead of that one, pulled a way foul down the left field.
So, and that is an out.
Well, talking with many of the local citizens here at Painted Post, I guess this type of weather has been pretty common here in the Corning Painted Post area this spring.
It has. anyone who has experienced the winter into spring, this seemed like it was so prolonged, and all of a sudden we had an explosion of warm weather, but still the rain aspect.
Yeah, we had a good, nice weather for ceremonies Friday night, and then again this morning it looked like it was going to let us get the entire tournament in, but unfortunately a few thunderstorms have rolled through the area and possibly more to come.
We just want to remind our viewers who will be tuning in that Dave and I will be back for the semifinals. We'll be picking up action late in the ball game. That's a long home run.
Well, I guess Ruoc still got a little gas left in him. He wants to make this a little more competitive than the score seems to show.
Right. Well, I think the temptation to maybe a double dip ice cream from,
Well, with him and Ronnie being best friends, I'm sure he's probably gotten a share of his free ice cream up there.
And that one is a round tripper. Home run for Ron Abbey.
That brings Mike Ruoc back up to the plate. Let's see if he can repeat what he did earlier.
Well, we have some very anxious people tracking this game, a 9-3 contest now after the couple of home runs.
Back up the middle, but stopped by Derek.
And that will be an out recorded. And it hits batsman, but he'll continue to work on his swing. Ron Abbey very serious now. The visor is gone. He steps into that one, but it's an out. 2 down in the 5th. Let's see if Ruoc has still that home run swing ready for him.
Make it count.
Corey Hamil's pitch. Had some awesome velocity on that ball, but all of a sudden that's rare that you see it coming in like a slider, and then it just kind of freezes in midsection.
Yeah, Corey's got a nice selection of pitches he uses. We faced him earlier. He's got a pitch that'll just come right at you and then all of a sudden drop right over the plate. So if you can time it, you have a pretty good chance of making some contact. But he's kind of already chosen himself to be a craftsman out there with the ball.
Well, here we have it. 2 outs, 5th inning, full count, and the pitch.
Fly down to right.
Long fly ball stays in the park, hung up for a minute.
Oh boy!
And that may not come down. Well, Dave, I'm going to ask you to weigh in on this till we get the official call. Is it a double or a triple?
I'm sure they're going to have to call Nathan and possibly Bob Turner down there to decide what they want to do. We haven't witnessed this yet today.
3 balls.
They're going to call it a homer?
Well, there goes Nathan down there to investigate what's going on. Hopefully we can get in touch with him when he gets back and decide what's going to be the call.
To the yellow leafish.
I see a lot of pointing down there, Bob. It looks like you might actually see where the ball is, but it's definitely hung up.
Well, now Mike Ruoc wants to weigh in on the call.
That's only for homers.
And we are still waiting for that ball. So now we may get the official rendering here from Nate Luco. Well, I think he's ordering pizza right now. How do you like your pizza, by the way?
I'm on that low carb diet, Bob. I'll take a bowl of fruit.
I am Spartacus.
Okay, they call it a redo. So once again, we're locked in on a full count. We get a little flashing from the sky. And that is caught by Derek Camille.
That'll end the game.
For the 3rd out. That is the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. And the winner's bracket champs turned out to be Corey and Derek Camille this afternoon. Final score is 9-3. So now the onus is on Abbey and Ruoc to come back, as you know. So that's the end of that game. We'll be back with more right after this.
Doing some of the upgrades that they've done.
Well, you know, sooner or later, we are all going to be faced with that prospect of retirement. Chris Ruoc certainly is no exception. But with his retirement also came a very big surprise.
I made it 27 years, and I figured it was about time with my back injury that it's time to hang up the cleats, you know?
And so we're throwing a celebration for him tonight, a special farewell for everything he's done. We have a couple unveilings to have for him. We're actually going to retire his jersey, and we have a new scoreboard that we're going to put on display for him.
Oh my gosh.
You're now officially the first person in Ruoc Colonial Days Wiffle Ball Tournament history to have their number retired. Woo!
So it's something really special that for all the service he did as an excellent pitcher, not the best hitter, but he won 4 championships, and we'd like to send him off with a huge congratulations as he enjoys his new retirement and actually begins his umpiring career.
And so I figured if I'm not going to play, I'd better umpire. So I left the boy in charge along with Bobby Turner and my grounds crew. The game's in great hands, so I rode into the sunset, and I'll announce my retirement tonight.
Wow, that's awesome.
Well, fans, it has been quite an afternoon accompanying the rain, some exciting wiffle ball. And we're in an elimination round right now. Dave Jenks with the team of Newell and Newell. That's Dave and Brian Newell leading the defending champions Bob Turner and Andy Hayes by a score of 7-0. And you know, you think about, you've got your defending champions with their backs really against the wall. They've got this inning and next to try to get something done here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're getting anything started up today. It's you know, they came out of the gate pretty good. I think they lasted 2 or 3 games in the first round of the winners bracket, and this game they've had a long layoff though too. I don't think they played for close to 2 hours. And then they come out here and kind of laid an egg against Newell and Newell.
Well, they have certainly taken care of us as far as the accommodations are concerned in our exclusive broadcast booth. And as I said that, I seem to see splitting some of the branches to our far left. Is that sunshine?
Well, I don't know if I'd go to that extent, but at least if it let up a little bit here, it would be, you know, I think a lot of the patrons that have come in today would appreciate that.
Well, the wisdom that you possessed before the tournament began by bringing a plethora of umbrellas. Certainly you've made a killing today as far as that's concerned.
Yeah,
because there are a lot of fans with their umbrellas deployed.
Well, I think next year when we talk at the winter meetings, I'm going to maybe suggest to Chris that we hand out, to the patrons that have been pretty loyal to us. The first 100 fans in will get an umbrella.
A number of years ago, there was a major league player who kind of came up with something relatively innovative. It was called the Brock umbrella.
Yes.
Lou Brock. And it was hands-free, so you basically put it on your dome, sat there and watched the game, and with your garbage bag just deployed over your shoulders, Dave, you were high and dry.
Well, maybe that's the route we'll go next year. I'm surprised the number of people that actually brought an umbrella, but I guess they were more prepared than we were.
Well, we could maybe call them Bob umbrellas.
That would work.
Okay. All right, so we'll work on that in the offseason. Meanwhile, the Newell brothers are trying to work on continuing along, leading 7-0. Bobby Turner at the plate right now. And as I said, spectators walking across, dancing on the playing field, umbrellas deployed, and their favorite beverages. That's a high fly ball, and
Davey Newell stole that from his brother, but I think at this point, he's just trying to get through this game. That'll be a big accomplishment to shut Hayes and Turner down. I mean, they've showed nothing on offense throughout the day. I know Andy's got his flurry of pitches that he's shown today, and Bobby's played some pretty decent defense out there, but it's not going to be enough to overcome a 7-0 deficit.
Well, you touched upon a subject that could be sore, and we watched this one. That's a double. And the footing got very good out there. But you touched upon something about how your game has slowed down a little bit. Dare we think that this is something that maybe Turner and Hayes are facing at this point of their game?
Well, between you and me and all those listening, Andy stated if they three-peated, he was actually thinking about walking away from the game, and Bobby's response was, well, I'm going to play until they put me in the ground. So a little different analogy from each of the players of Turner and Hayes.
Sounds to me like there could be some protracted negotiations over the course of the offseason.
Well, maybe Bobby want to go with the youth movement. And
look at this. Sacrificing the body and not coming up with anything.
No.
But Brian Newell gave his best out there.
Yeah, I don't know if he's wearing black shorts or if that's just the dirt that's going.
Those were white when he began, I think.
Okay. Oh. Andy Case takes a cut and he falls backwards out of the batter's box.
And somehow he managed to stay relatively clean. Or were those shorts white when he began?
Well, there's white stripes on them.
So we have a 7-3 ball game in the bottom of the 4th inning. And this is an elimination game, and at the risk of being redundant.
Well, I think
championship teams or defending champions are literally looking at their backs against the wall.
I'm thinking Newell and Newell are hoping this is the last time they have to bat in this game.
Seeing the beginning of a new era, a new dynasty, perhaps, or is it too premature?
Newell is they've been competitive over the years, and maybe their time. I know they've been playing, I would say, a minimum of 15 years here, and obviously their name's not on the back of the shirt, and it's something they're striving for.
All right, so Dave Newell checking in now, and it is pretty mucky out there in that right-handed batter's box.
Seems like the rain's let up, though. Maybe they'll finish out here without any more downpours.
That would be wonderful.
I think a lot of the fans would appreciate that. I know they've gathered under that tarp for the last, seems like 2 hours, and haven't even stuck their heads out.
Well, fans, we have to say that we have the best-dressed Wiffle caster with us in the booth today. Dave, don't call me Bill Murray, James. Do you get that a lot?
Yeah, that's pretty common from people in North Carolina and obviously back here in New York. Well, I think that Newell and Newell are hoping this is a 1-2-3 inning, and they can get back over into their luxury box seat there and maybe change into some drier clothes.
Sure. All right, so here it is. It's a 4-run difference right now. Newells are trying to close out. The defending champs, Bob Turner, will lead it off. And the floater just a little bit outside, delivered by Dave Newell. I like the Submariners' delivery there. It came with the sidearm approach and just kind of a breaking fastball.
Right
That's
back
an out.
up the middle. That's one away. We're down to the last two here with Andy Hayes stepping up to the plate.
Well, fans, you remember if we had the slow-mo instant replay, Andy went down swinging. That's a fly ball, and Newell, that's 2. And we come down to what could be the final out of the season for the team of Turner and Hayes.
Well, I was surprised earlier in the tournament too. They were sent to the losers bracket pretty early. They were lost. I think they lost a 15-5 game earlier to Corey and Derek Camille.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We will have a new champion. It's still that big question mark right now, but our defending champions, Bob Turner and Andy Hayes, eliminated by a final score of 7-3 of the brother tandem, Dave and Brian Newell. Dave Jenks and I will be back for the next semifinal. We'll be picking it up in the final 2 innings of that contest when we return on Big Fox WYDC. Fans, we have game number 29 here in the annual Ruoc Wiffle Ball Tournament. Bob Michaels, along with a young man who's been by my side most of the afternoon, Dave Jenks. And Dave, at this point, we're looking a little mixture of youth and experience out there, so to speak. I don't think Ron Abbey or Mike Rarick would appreciate us calling them old guys. But
no, not when they step in this ballpark. They kind of figure they're on the same level as the Ruocos and the Caleb and Diorio. So I don't think they don't look at themselves as old guys. I think they like to think of themselves as a well-rounded veteran that can compete with these young kids.
Well, we look at the fielding prowess out there displayed by participants on both sides of the ledger. These young men here in black, and they go by several different names. The men in black are the young guns, as we've heard them referred to. Nate Ruocco took over the duties as chairman of the event from his father, who handled it so very convincingly and masterfully, Chris Ruocco. We have Caleb McKay at the plate, and of course Sean Diorio. And
nice
what a great grab by Mike Rarick. Well, right now we're looking at a 3-0 ball game, and we are in the bottom of the 4th inning. And it's the team of Abbey and Rarick, who made their way to the championship round last year, need some runs to kind of repeat that aspect, or at least to still be in the hunt for that.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good. I mean, obviously right now they're down, but I think there's plenty of time for these two guys to come back. And after experience what they went through last year, that they're gonna. I don't think this game's going to be a blowout. I think they're gonna make it close between what Mike and Ronnie have shown from the plate this afternoon. I think it's just a matter of time putting together a couple back-to-back hits.
Well, Mike just trying to show some of his hitting ability. Unfortunately, that foul out, or as it is considered an out. So they're down to 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Just like last year when we were at this point, it looks like Ron Abbey's going to take a couple swipes from the left side of the box. And last year he seemed to have quite a bit of success later in the tournament. Not so lucky
time
today.
So we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Excuse me. Am I correct? Top of the fifth or bottom of the fourth? They're telling us it's the top of the fifth. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, we're looking at the top of the fifth.
That's right, because Abby and Ruoc are the home club. All right, so let's see what Sean DeOrio.
And compared to our previous games, it seemed to have dried up a little bit out there. Maybe I shouldn't say dried up, but at least the rain has stopped falling here at the Bobo Ruocco Memorial Stadium.
Yep, clearing skies, a little bit of a breeze, some hints of sunshine here on a Saturday late afternoon or early evening, depending on your
seems as though the majority of fans have thinned out. You know, I don't think we're going to set any records today with the attendance compared to past seasons, but I think the weather's probably going to have a lot to do with that.
Well, they did an outstanding job in the concessions, and of course a neighbor adjacent to the Ruoc ballpark sustained a devastating fire, so donations and food services being provided here today, and I guess they raked in pretty close to $500.
Yeah,
so
between what we got from donations and 50/50s and what they pulled in at the catering center, it looks like close to $500 will be, you know, passed on to them for their rebuilding project.
As we move now to the bottom of the fifth inning, and it's do or die time for Ron Abbey and Mike Ruoc.
Yeah, 3-0 deficit. That's nothing that they haven't seen before and have come back from, but you know, this late in the tournament, I'm sure a lot of soreness and tired people are out there, and hopefully they can put something together here quick.
If you notice that the fans are moving gradually onto the field, there's a high fly ball that is hung up by the leaves, and it is an out. One down.
Ronnie's going to try it from the right hand of the box this time. Maybe didn't feel too comfortable from the left side earlier.
I like the model for this year's tournament. United we whiff and win.
Yeah, Chris has always got something up his sleeve for that yearly slogan that he puts on the back of the boys' shirts.
Well, fans, it's been an exciting tournament, and we're getting down the home stretch here. So now we're down to the final out for Team Abby Ruoc.
Yeah, I didn't see this coming. I thought for sure that they would put some runs up. You know, shut Mike and Ronnie down. That's a big achievement for Nate, but he's pitched well this afternoon.
Caught up with Ron Abbey in between the last couple of games, and I said, how you feeling? He says, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm having a lot of fun. Got through the rain.
Which everybody is.
And there it is.
Comebacker, that'll end it.
Well, we got one more.
Oh,
I thought that
guess
was.
We're now
I thought there were
out.
two. There's three. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, to the winners. And continuing on, Caleb McCaig, Sean DeOrio, and Nate Ruoc as they eliminate the last year's runner-up squad of Ron Abbey and Mike Ruoc.
So I guess none of our teams from last year, Bob, are going to return to the championship game. We're going to have it's going to be a new champion this year, and we're going to have two new teams in that game.
All right, Dave Jenks and I will return shortly here on WYDC, Big Fox TV. One thing about the Ruoc tournament is the community involvement. It's neighbor helping neighbor. There's one special little girl here in Painted Post who's working to spell that out considerably.
This year I'm doing Lexi's Lunchbox, and I'm sponsoring for the family. Their house burnt down, and that's the Brockways, and I sell hot dogs, M&Ms, and some other stuff. And once everything is set up, I'm going to start selling, and it's over there, and everyone's setting up, and
Yeah, she started a couple years ago with this Lexi lunchbox thing, you know, and she was just selling candy at first, and now she's going to do hot dogs, and it's really nice to see her get involved, and she's doing it for, you know, a good cause. You know, we're raising money for the family next door that unfortunately had a fire, so it's really special.
Because 2 years ago I did it, and I had really fun with it, and then Chris Ruoc said that I could do it this year, and then I was going to do it for the Little League scoreboard because they don't have a good one, because they said they were trying to get money for it. And then their house burnt down, so I was like, ooh, I want to do that for them too.
So ladies and gentlemen, while Lexi's out here, this young lady raised Friday night and Saturday for our neighbors who lost their home. Lexi raised $500 and
It really has turned into a family thing. I mean, just think we started 28 years ago with, you know, just the post boys really getting together to play wiffle ball, and then to see my kids get involved is really a special thing.
Well, we got some young talent in Christopher Durkin, who is Steve's son, and he's got a great arm. I think he's going to be doing well on the pitching this year.
I did all right. I pitched a little bit, only for an inning or two.
I mean, that's real special to see him come out and play and get a chance to play with Dad. And it's special.
ladies and gentlemen, that is Chris Durkin's first Major League.
Well, it was great. I got my first hit, and the year before that I got my first walk, but this year I'm looking for a home run.
Here you go, the wave. Camille are the winners of the winners bracket. They are undefeated. To lose the title, they'd have to lose 2 games in a row. Ruoc, McKeg, and Diorio are the winners of the losers bracket. They need to win 2 in a row to be champions.
And they just took the initiative that we offered up there and made that public knowledge to the fans attending the event here this year.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be just as excited as the people that are going to win this. So this is going to be pretty interesting. This is over 200 countries right now, Chris, who are watching this.
And I believe also in South Corning.
Well, I don't know if it's going to reach that far.
All right, so here we go. First pitch of the championship.
Looks like Corey Camille will lead off the game, and it looks like brother Derek will follow him up.
Absolutely. So Caleb McKay playing a deep left field, and there's your first out of the game.
Well, I'm thinking the big issue of this game is probably going to be that right-handed batter's box. You know, we've gone through a ton of kitty litter today, Bob, and it don't look like it's really fixed the problem that appears to be.
And the cats have left the litter alone, too.
Yep. That was a big expense this year. We put a lot of money into the Kitty Litter Foundation, and we still came up short.
I can think of maybe some redeeming sponsorship next year from the Humane Society. I'd like to get them on board, too.
Yeah, we went through quite a bit of sawdust as well, and it's all ground right into the ground today, and everything's soaked it up, but at least we can say for the championship game that it stopped raining.
Well, we want to take special thanks, send it out to Andy Hayes, who brought those extra bags of sawdust with him. Did not help their cause to get to the championship, but, well, there's your Second out of the inning. Top of the first, no score. This could indeed be the championship game right here if Hamil and Hamil are able to prevail. Pitch inside to Corey. And we're told from the winner's bracket, obviously, the young guns would have to win twice in order to to make their way to the championship.
Yeah, but I don't expect Corey and Derek to let up in this ball game. I think they want to, get it over with and not give the young guns a second chance.
Well, I have to say that I've been impressed with the long ball hitting of those the fellas coming to the plate right now.
Yeah,
they have shown a mastery of just kind of snaking the ball between the overflow of leaves from the maple trees that adorn the sprawling complex. But then on the same token, we've seen some outstanding defense. So,
well, I think the key to the lineup for the young guns would be DiOrio, who was, the last couple games, he's just stroked the ball with consistency, and that's not taking anything away from Ruoc or McKegg, but DiOrio, I think he's the key to the lineup today.
All right, well, let's take a look at another aspect of this game that weighs, I would think, quite heavily. You've got a team that's been playing 3-4 consecutive games where the Hamil team has had a long time to rest and maybe just kind of recharge their battery, so to speak. Do you like that aspect of having that long layover, or do you like the fact that you've been playing and winning and having the momentum continuing?
Well, from what it looks like from the young guns, I mean, these guys have all hit. Again, I'm really impressed with DiOrio. Earlier in the tournament, he really wasn't a big contributor, but the last couple games, he's just been stroking the ball with consistency. And like you said, with the long layoff for the Hamil team, is that going to come back and haunt him?
Well, we have a man on board with the walk issued to DiOrio, and it brings to the plate Nate Ruoc. That's strike, and he agreed.
Also, does this play in Nathan's favor, him being the commissioner? I hope it don't come down to a controversial play where he's going to have to get involved and make a decision. We might see his dad step in, but well, his dad's behind the plate calling balls and strikes.
There's a schedule of what game you're umping, and if I have to land on my boy's game, I can be. He knows, I raised you, kid, but you know what? I can punch out all in the same day. So
I'm a little nervous, maybe for the first game, but I've had 3 uncles who were umpires in the past and had to face them. But maybe it being my father, it's gonna be a little different. It might be a little weird at first. I'll have to get used to it though, because he's gonna be back there for next quite a few years. So we'll get used to it, and hopefully things can go my way. I'm not looking for any special calls or anything. I know there's gonna be no biases here, but we'll see how it goes.
I was wondering about that, having his father as the home plate umpire. Is he going to be a little lenient? There's a high fly ball, and gone! Well, it's Caleb McKegg who steps up to the plate and powers this out, and the young guns go up top 1-0. So once again, here's that heavy hitter you've talked so much about glowingly, Sean DiOrio. Talking all the time. I mean, he's a chatterbox in that batter's box. And look at that. Well, a great grab by Corey Hamil.
Well, he hit it hard and right back where he's been hitting it all day, but obviously the trees came in play, and that's always a big factor here in Ruoc's backyard.
All right, so it's a 2-0 ball game here as we go to the top of the second inning. And our thanks this afternoon for their diligence and hard-working dedication to the game. Casey Ghana, along with Paul Sweeney, have been doing a masterful job in the scoring department. There's a high fly ball and playable. Great grab by Caleb McKegg.
He stayed with it. He played that ball out of the tree perfectly.
Chris Ruoc attired in his mud splatter wear.
The umpires union had a little extra money this year to buy him the rain jackets, and obviously it's come into play this year.
Nice that they kicked that in. And I also should mention here in this championship round, But the Big Fox wardrobe department came through for you. There's another home run. This time, Team Jamil getting on the board with their first run of the ball game, and it's a 2-1 deficit. Yeah, but going back to the Big Fox wardrobe department, fitting you with that great-looking gold with Sonny Crockett underlay tee.
The perfect color for this time of year, Bob. I think they did a very nice job of again decorating me and putting me together for your appearance on the show today.
Right on the mound, digging in now, and he's got himself a double.
It looked like it just went off the tip of Nathan's fingers, and it just came up short of McKegg making that play.
Well, McKegg was playing, all due respect, that was hard hit, and he had to dig deep from far left field.
Yeah, and again, his traction is going to be kind of limited from the wet grounds out there today. But hats off to the grounds crew for, again, keeping the field in the best possible condition to play today.
That's a high fly ball and out.
You all right?
Well, they're hitting Nathan Ruoc pretty hard, but fortunately he's been able to escape any runs to this point other than the shot earlier.
Well, here's that long ago and far away player from Corning High School fame, Derek Emile. And I guess I must have jinxed him there because he just powered it back to the box and that's an out, which retires the side. However, the Jamil brothers come up with a run here, and right now they've cut the deficit. It's a 2-1 contest. So let's move to the bottom of the second inning now, fans, here on Big Fox WYDC. Bob Michaels with Dave Jenks. 2-1 lead for the team at bat, led by Nate Ruoc, and that's the first out of the inning.
Here comes Caleb again. Let's see if he can repeat what he did earlier.
Well, he and DiOrio seem to have that long ball down to a science.
Well, that takes a little bit of the stress off of Nathan to have to contribute to the hitting. As long as he can concentrate on the pitching portion of it, and DiOrio and McKegg can take care of the hitting, it's going to make it a lot easier on Nathan.
You know, to play all day long, you begin on a Friday night and getting some of the first round games in. You begin very early on Saturday morning with hopes that, come 8, 9 o'clock at night, you may have the chance to be crowned champion. I would think, Dave, that pacing and maybe diet would be something you'd have to consider.
Well, if you look at the team of the men in black, obviously they've got some kind of regiment working for them that's carried them to this point.
And they go yard once more. It's DiOrio.
There's that name again, Bob.
Well, Dave Jenks has talked highly about this young man. He's impressed throughout the tournament. And once again, he adds to his accolades and posting a 3-1 advantage now for the Young Guns. Bottom of third inning, second rather. And a 3-1 advantage for Team Black. I like that sidearm delivery by the younger Jamil. Ball just kind of comes very rapid fire off his fingertips and then just kind of makes a last slow motion move.
Well, he looks like it's laying it in there, and then, like I said, at the last second, it drops off. But Corey's pitched well today. For them to be in the position they are, a lot of that goes through his pitching.
And it's a high fly ball.
Oh, nice recovery by Derek.
I'll tell you what, Derek Emile had some footing problems out there, but was able to make the grab.
You are not lucky, by the way, I'll tell you that.
So it's a 3-1 lead. For the Jamils, this is their last opportunity to cut the deficit. So it would appear, if they're not going to do it, we'll go to another full-length game to determine a winner.
Yeah, I think Nathan would like to go 1, 2, 3 here and get out and turn around and play again. Nathan working quick. He's not settling down too much. He's getting that ball and firing it right back in there. There's one away.
So, Derek Camille, some pressure on his shoulders now.
Derek's bat's been quite quiet this game, Bob.
It has. There's a strike.
Earlier in the tournament, you know, they were getting just enough runs, and you know, Derek was a big contributor to that. But you know, he's been pretty quiet. You know, Corey's knocked in a couple, but looks like he's going to come up short.
Well, Derek still managed to muster a smile there. And he's
a little harassment from the fans right now.
Yeah. And there it is. So the ball game belongs to Diorio, Ruoc, and McKay by a score of 6-2. And we will go to a final game to determine the champion as Hamil and company sustain their first loss of the day.
Well, no one goes undefeated for 2 years in a row now.
All right, fans.
This will be the final game. I ask participation from the crowd be a little bit better in that game. I love you're having fun, but come on, let's root both teams on. The winner wins it all.
Chris
The
Ruoc
loser
with
still stands tall.
urging the crowd to cheer these two teams on. So they will have just a ruling for a moment. We're going to step aside. We'll be back right after this on Big Fox TV WYDC.
Have fun. Give it your best. We got balls. We got scoring in the air. It's balls. Home.
Welcome back as Corey Hamil grounds out in the top of the third inning. We've got a scoreless game ongoing in the championship of the 28th annual. Am I correct there, Dave?
Yeah, that's correct, Bob.
28th annual Ruoc Wiffle Ball Tournament in Painted Post. There's 2 outs. Tell you what, Ruoc has something on that ball in this championship game. We've got a little bit of a breeze coming. We'll see if that is a factor at all.
And again, he's working quick. I mean, it seems like we just started the game, but we're in the third inning.
Well, a commissioner's work is never done, and he probably figures I can get a lot accomplished before dark if we can get this game completed.
Well, if he wins this tournament, I wonder what he's going to say to himself when the commissioner gives the speech.
That's right. On behalf of my staff and me. And that should be the third out, and it is.
And we go to the bottom of the third. I was surprised also, Bob, they didn't switch up the umpires for this game. It's Chris Ruoc calling the final game as he did the previous game. I thought maybe they would, you know, the umpire chief, Pete Ruoc, who we see working the double line down the first base line, I thought maybe we'd see him behind the plate for this big game.
Well, Chris has been pretty busy as the, shall we say, the commissioner emeritus during the off season. So he had plenty of time to get his outside duties done and rest up, and decided to come in and do the last couple of games, doing a nice job. Corey Hamil, boy, there's a worker out there working through all that mud and just trying to get some help. There's another home run, our first one of this ball game, and Team Black has taken a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the third inning.
And it's that guy Diorio again.
Yes. Nate Ruoc.
I'd be surprised at this point, Bob, if Diorio wasn't your MVP if they go on to win this.
Pitching, hitting, turning out the lights. Championship game on the line here, and a 1-0 lead for the home club. That's a little bit low. That's a high fly ball. That is a double. Well, we'd like to take this opportunity midway through the championship game to thank the Ruoc Tournament Committee for rolling out the tournament carpet for both Dave and myself.
Yeah, again, as bad as the weather was today, we still had a decent turnout. It's not as big as we've had in some of the years when we've had great weather, but you know, the old reliables are here, the dedicated fans that are, you know, this one day every year that they look forward to. They're not going to have a little rain chase them away.
What a grab by Hamil, Derek Hamil. We're going to put a star up there by that play. Taking a little bit of heckling there, Dave. You're handling it quite well.
Well, I'm used to that, Bob. That's usually a daily activity with me. Somebody's usually got to heckle me about something. Especially when I get back around the guys you grow up with. You know, they've gone a year without heckling me, so they've saved up all winter and have plenty to do it.
All right, Corey Hamil into the windup.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were just jealous of the jacket at this point.
It could be that. We had a few people comment on your pocket attire there, your WAP Sports logo.
I believe right after the game, Bob, this jacket is actually going to be at the Smithsonian. If anybody that is going to see this down the road wants to actually see it, the Smithsonian will have it on display.
I noticed a few security guards starting to show up, so maybe that's what that clamor is all about. Top of the fourth inning. And a 1-0 lead. High fly ball for Hamil. And we've got a tie ball game, and he breaks out of the slump.
Finally, Derek Hamil coming out of a slump that seemed to have carried on for a couple games.
All right, fourth inning, a tie ball game at 1. Corey Hamil. And that is 2 outs.
I think that was a double, Bob.
He gave me 2.
Yeah, but I think he was signaling for a two-base hit. That was well over the double line. A lot of people get confused down there in the left field line. He's got an area that's been marked off over the years. We had numerous players run through that left field.
And Hamil thought he might have had one going yard, and a grab by McCaig. But there's still that opportunity. They got a man on board. That's a strike. Two down. Now defensively, you're going to have to look at your defensive all-star team. Got to put McCaig up there as a candidate, I would think. That's a fly ball. Home run!
Off the sick-go sign.
And
I believe that's a free round of nachos somewhere, Bob.
I would think. So they pick up 2 runs. It's now a 3-1 lead in the fourth for Hamil. And a fly ball. That's a double.
Boy, the bats have woken up.
So the Giant awakens. The coffee is strong. Foul ball. That's an out. But they use the fourth inning to come up with their best output and pick up a couple of runs. It is now 3-1. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning.
And here comes Caleb McCaig. We'll see if he can rebound from giving up 3 runs to see if the men in black can try to tie this back up.
Well, Corey Hamil, he's got that mindset going. He comes in with a sidearm delivery that's just a little bit inside. And the ball.
I think he just wants to work through this inning and get back up there. As well as they're hitting the ball, they want to be back up here swinging.
That's a great looking shot. Fly ball, Derek Camille right on the spot. Did not have to take a step.
No, he knew right where to play Caleb. He's been hitting it pretty much in that same area all day. He's not one that really goes to right field much.
Well, here he is, the man they call D-Wow. Sean D-Wow Diorio. Mr. Downtown himself. Let's see what he's got in store. That was a good-looking pitch. Took a little something off it. Corey Hamil, his older brother Derek, sliding over into right center field. Fly ball, high, deep, off his hands. Oh my! Hamil had it, and it glanced off the palm of his right hand, and that is a home run. And we got a good ball game now. It's a 3-2 contest in the fourth.
Well, I wonder if that's going to let the air out of the Hamil tire after being up 3-1. Now there's
high
another
fly
drive.
ball. Great grab by Corey Hamil. Diving catch to retire Ruoc.
Well, he saved a double there. That was definitely in the double area.
Hamil comes with that sidearm, almost a Submariner delivery. Somebody's going to have some laundry duty tonight. It's not going to be you or me.
No, I kept the jacket out of the grass stains and the mud, Bob. It's been, you know, in protection. I believe part of the award this year, we're going to give away a free box of Tide.
Great idea, especially after all the rain, and that's an out. All right, we played 4, and it is a 3-2 ball game.
Again, they're having problems with that right-handed batter's box. Nobody's getting any traction in there, but it didn't seem to bother Corey Hamil last inning when he had a home run.
Well, this would be your setup inning to add a few more to your cause. That's an out. Stepped into it, but had a life of his own, developed a tail, and there's your first one out in the top of the 5th inning.
Now, the last 2 innings, they've hit Nathan Ruoc pretty hard. Well, we're getting down to the final straw here. We got 2 innings. Well, no, this is actually the last inning.
Yeah, this is top of the 5th inning, and the visitors leading in this contest 3-2. That could be trouble. That's out. Didn't have quite enough on it. Corey Hamil, who's been an outstanding pitcher all throughout the tournament, stepping up, getting another lick.
Well, the last couple times up, he's ripped it pretty good. I think he'd really like to help himself and, you know, try to get a couple more runs before the men in black come up for their last chance.
Well, here it is. Team Hamil needs to hold to force a playoff game.
Looks like Diorio is going to be the first one to take a cut at Corey Hamil.
All right, Dave, just to avoid the confusion, Hamils have lost to this group here. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Previously. If they hold off these guys, they are the winners.
That's it.
All right, this is the championship game right here. On the line.
Oh, it's in the corner.
Derek Camille, and you could see him trying valiantly to get to that ball, but he just couldn't get the feet unstuck.
No, he had him played where he wanted to play him, but you know, just trying to take 2 steps in that mud, he had no traction. It looks like he fell right from step 1.
All right, the drama continues here in Painted Post. Bottom of the 5th.
Wouldn't it be something if the commissioner hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 5th?
1 man on board. Corey Hamil into the windup. That's a ball. Well, the crowd is getting into this one, fans.
Back up the middle.
An out. The Hollywood scriptwriters are working overtime here in painted post. The next pitch. And it's the first one to Caleb McCaig, who has had a number of home runs in this tournament. Oh. Swing and a miss.
Little over anxious, I think. That was a ball that he'd usually take.
All right, it comes down to this. Bottom of the fifth. 2 outs, 1 on board. The winning run at the plate. The Hamils are waiting. Derek wanted that call. Didn't get it. Corey Hamil, all business on the mound.
He's playing DiOrio right where he was his last at bat.
At the pitch. And there it is.
That'll do it.
How about that? It was a come-from-behind victory for Derek and Corey Hamil. They are the new champs, 2011 Ruoc Wiffle Ball Tournament. Final score, 3-2. You couldn't have asked for a greater finish, Dave Jenks.
No, this is why the people come out to watch it. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, Corey and his brother could have put him away in that first game, and give credit to the men in black that came back to force a second game and just came up a run short. They have nothing to be ashamed of.
Well, I want to say it's been a pleasure once more working with you, sir.
Oh, always, Bob. Always.
All the way from North Carolina, coming home. It's got to feel pretty good, huh?
Yes. Once a year we'll come up here and do this, and I always look forward to it. It's a great time for the community, a great time for friends. I think people really enjoy what we've done here over the last 28 years, and after Chris has passed down the torch to Nathan, we'll only see what he can bring by next year to add to the field and to make everybody happy here. I mean, you won't see a sad face leave here today. Everybody had a good time, whether it's a team that got knocked out earlier this morning or the people that hung around through the rain. But everybody had a good time, and you'll see them all here next year.
All right, well, the award ceremonies will be underway very shortly, but we will take this opportunity to thank all of you for joining us here. Until next time, somewhere down the road, I'm Bob Michaels with Dave Jenks. So long, everyone.